billions of dollars. But I don't blame China for taking advantage of us. I blame our leaders and representatives for allowing this travesty to happen.
Tulsi Gabbard is way too old. Tulsi Gabbard is 37 years old. She's 37 years old. That is 7 years over 30. You're not supposed to trust anybody over 30. She is Generation X. She's not a millennial. She's not Generation Z. She's Generation X. What the hell has the 80s or the 90s ever done for anybody? Did anything good come out of the 80s? What, the Goonies? Oh, look at me, I'm a Goonie. What the fuck's a Goonie? A bunch of weird kids walking on train tracks? That's the highlight of your existence? Corky Romano? Howard the Duck? Huh? That's what the 80s brought. Howard the effing Duck. What about Alf? Hey, what the fuck is an Alf? It's an alien puppet who likes to eat cats. Okay, thank you, Generation X, for giving us Alf and the Goonies and He-Man by the power of Grayskull. Saved by the Bell, fucking Zach Morris, Screech, Jesse. There's never any times. Lisa Nongata, Perfect Strangers, Balky, Standing Tall.
Let me thank all of you for joining me tonight. I know that it is late, and I'm not going to go on for too long. And let me also just congratulate Stacey Abrams for her very, very effective response to President Trump's State of the Union.
Sometimes the world looks perfect, nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter what the odds are this time, nothing's going to stand in my way, this flame in my heart, long lost friend. Okay, sorry. Standing tall on the wings of my dreams, rise and fall. On the wings of my dreams, the rain and thunder, the wind and haze are bound for better days. My life, my dreams, nothing's gonna stop me now. Okay, I liked Balky,
Our deeper humanitarian values and our deeper democratic values. Our democracy and our capitalism has swerved off course from an ethical center. I believe, yes, it is the job of the president to name this.
And again, we just have a short time, and you do have specific proposals and policies, and I'd like to get to a couple more of them right now. You are a candidate who believes that African Americans should receive reparations for slavery, specifically $100 billion paid out in a 10-year annual installment of $10 billion. Is this symbolic, or do you think this money goes to some practical purpose?
This is not symbolic at all. At the end of the Civil War, General Tecumseh Sherman promised to every formerly enslaved person 40 acres and a mule.
It's a rare condition, this day and age, to read any good news on the newspaper page. Love and tradition of the grand design, some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls, 'cause all I see is the Tower of Dreams, real love bursting out of every scene as days go by. Nobody ever talks about Family Matters these days. What's wrong with Family Matters?
I have great respect for President Xi, and we are now working on a new trade deal with China. But it must include real structural change to end unfair trade practices, reduce our chronic trade deficit, and protect American jobs.
Show me that smile again. Oh, show me that smile. Don't waste another minute on your crying. We're nowhere near the end. Nowhere near the best is ready to begin. Oh, as long as we got We got the world spinning around in our hands, baby, you and me. We gotta be the luckiest dreamers who never quit dreaming. As long as we keep on giving, we can take anything that comes our way, baby, rain or shine. All the time, we got each other, sharing the laughter and love, sharing the laughter and love.
Aloha! Aloha, I can't hear you. There we go. Thank you all.
The Thundercats, that's what the 80s brought us, the fucking Thundercats, a flock of seagulls. It was an Austin Powers joke. I don't even get it. That's how boring and bland the 80s was. The flock of seagulls, what is he talking about? Urkel, Screech, Laverne and Shirley, Babe Ruth, Titanic polio, the Pink Panther. How about the Michael P. Keaton Family Ties? So he became a huge Hollywood star with the perfect movie, Back to the Future. And then he goes and becomes a right-wing Republican? Fan-fucking-tastic. Thanks, 80s. Wall Street, greed. Oh, man, the 80s. Y'all really brought in a whole bunch of... What about that rapscallion rambunctious Mike Seaver? Remember Mike Seaver? He was the bad boy, right? In Growing Pains, he was the bad boy. Now he's a right-wing preacher. Oh, man. Maybe Parker Posey. Parker Posey might be the only thing the 80s gave us. And they promoted her about 50 times. And we got Parker Posey. And Parker Posey is going to be in this movie. And in this show, Parker Posey.
Another historic trade blunder was the catastrophe known as NAFTA. I have met the men and women.
What would we do, babe, without us? What would we do, babe, without us? There ain't nothing we can't love each other through. What would we do, baby, without us? Sha-la-la-la.
Women who do so much work that right now is not compensated, for underrepresented minorities who don't have access to the same opportunities and have less savings. The way the Freedom Dividend, which is what I call universal basic income, the way the Freedom Dividend is funded is through a new tax that will fall on the companies that are benefiting most from automation. So we need to shift to a value add.
Meanwhile, the 90s and the 2000s, right, you didn't live through the 60s if you were born in the 60s. You lived through the 60s if you're a teenager or you're in your 20s. So we brought, better than this Generation X. We had Blossom, we had Boy Meets World, we had Batman animated series, X-Men, Ninja Turtles, Animaniacs, Darkwing Duck. Meanwhile, y'all got what? He-Man, Thundercats, Seagulls. Hey, I'm a Goonie! Look at me, I'm a Goonie!
Now we, I think, all know why she would have been a wonderful governor of Georgia. I know that this will probably not shock you, but I hate to say this, but not everything Donald Trump said tonight was true or accurate. Tonight, when we talk about the economy, tonight and on numerous occasions since he has taken office.
Daring duck, a mystery, champion of the right, swoops down from the shadows, Darkwing owns the night. Somewhere some villain schemes, but his number's up.
That's great. Very great. And congratulations. That's great. As part of our commitment to improving opportunity for women everywhere, this Thursday, we are launching the first ever government-wide initiative focused on economic empowerment for women in developing countries.
Daring duck, a mystery, champion of right, Swoops down from the shadows, Darkwing owns the night. Somewhere some villain schemes, but his number's up. 4, 3, 2, 1, Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble you call DW, Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous, Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck.
A strong security wall was put in place. This powerful barrier almost completely ended illegal crossings. The border city of El Paso, Texas, used to have extremely high rates of violent crime, one of the highest in the entire country, and considered one of our nation's most dangerous cities. Now, immediately upon its building,
Cloud of smoke and heat appears, the master of disguise. Who's that cunning mind behind the shadowy disguise? Nobody knows for sure. Bad guys are out of luck, 'cause here comes Darkwing Duck. Look out, when there's trouble you call DW, Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous, Darkwing Duck. Better watch out, you bad boys, Darkwing Duck.
don't sit yet, you're going to like this. And exactly 1 century after Congress passed the constitutional amendment giving women the right to vote, we also have more women serving in Congress than at any time before.
So we, the millennials, we get the internet, right? We got computer animation, we got smartphones, we got MP3 players, the internet. We're the information generation. We're the Gutenberg printing press revolution times a billion.
Tax that would fall on companies like Amazon and the robot trucking companies, where a value-added tax, every other industrialized country in the world, except for the US, has a value-added tax. And through a value-added tax at half the European level, we could pay for a universal basic income of $1,000 per month for all Americans. A universal basic income will be the greatest.
What the hell the 80s give us? Laverne and Shirley? Screech? Urkel? Mr. Belvedere? Oh, that's a great theme song. Streaks on the china never mattered before. Who cares? You dropped, kicked your jacket, you come through the door. No one glared. Sometimes things get turned around and no one's spared. All hands look out below, there's a change in the status quo. Gonna need all the help we can get according to our new arrival. Life is more than mere survival. When I wake up in the morning, the alarm gives out a warning. I don't think I'll make it on time. By the time I grab my books and I give myself a look, I'm at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by. When I wake up in the morning and the alarm gives off a warning and I don't think I'll make it on time. By the time I grab my books and I give myself a look, I'm at the corner just in time to see the bus. The bus. When I wake up in the morning and the alarm gives out a warning, I don't think I'll make it on time. By the time I give my... Fuck!
And those 40 acres and a mule would have given a formerly enslaved population an opportunity to reintegrate, to integrate into free society. What happened instead, of course, was black code laws were passed in the American South, which ensured subpar social and political and economic opportunities for the former slave population. This was not addressed for 100 years until the Civil Rights Movement. And while the Civil Rights...
When I wake up in the morning and the alarm goes off in the morning, I don't think I'll make it on time. By the time I grab my boots and I give myself a look, I'm at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell. If the teacher passes the test, I know I'm in a mess, and my dog ate all my homework last night. Riding low in my chair, she won't know that I'm there. If I could hand it in tomorrow, it'll be alright. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell. It's time for Animaniacs. We're zany to the max. So just sit back and relax. And then yeah.
This is not the strongest economy we have ever had, according to Trump, when hundreds of thousands of young people are unable to go to college because they can't afford it. and millions more are struggling with outrageous levels of student debt. When over 34 million Americans...
Time for Animaniacs, and we're zany to the max. So just sit back and relax, you'll laugh till you collapse. We're Animaniacs. Come join the Warner Brothers and the Warner Sister Dot. Just for fun, we run around the Warner movie lot. They lock us in the tower whenever we get caught, but we break loose and then vamoose. And now you know the plot. We're Animaniacs. Dot is cute and Yakko yaks. Wacko packs away the snacks while Bill Clinton plays the sax. We're Animaniacs. Meet Pinky and the Brain who want to rule the universe. Good feathers flock together. Slappy whacks him with their purse. Buttons chases Mindy while Rita sings a verse. The writers flipped. We have no script. Why bother to rehearse? We're Animaniacs. We have pay or play contracts. We have play or play. Pay to play. We're Animaniacs. We have pay to play contracts. Pay or play.
Rights movement gave Voting Rights Act, although that has been chipped away since 2013, and gave a lot of political opportunities that had not been there for the 100 years previous. It did not address the fact that we have not yet paid that debt. Germany has paid $89 billion in reparations to Jewish organizations since World War II, and Ronald Reagan signed the American Civil Liberties Act, by which we paid every surviving member who had been interned during the World War II in the Japanese internment.
We're Animaniacs. We have play or play contracts. We're zany to the max is baloney in those slacks. We're Animaniacs. Totally insane. Here's the show name. We're Animaniacs. And those are the facts.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All Americans can be proud that we have more women in the workforce than ever before.
Yeah, so my criticism isn't that Tulsi Gabbard is too old or that she can't do the job. You know, she's too young. I'm not saying she's too young. I'm saying she's too old. She's 37 years old. She's 2 years older than Juan Guaido. So the guy that we're going to put in charge of Venezuela is only 35 years old. And, you know, that's still over 30. You can't trust anybody over 30 years old. So Tulsi Gabbard, who come out Generation X, if she become more millennial, right, if she was more millennial, she'd be a little bit, you know, a little cooler, a little bit better. But considering she's a Generation Xer, this is her influence. Alf, that's what she brought to the world. Alf, Michael P. Keaton, right? He went back in time, right, and it was a badass, and now he's a right-wing Republican fucking dickhead. So, yeah, Tulsi Gabbard is just too damn old. She's too damn young. Wait, which one? I don't know.